Hey everyone. We're getting started with a new playthrough of my time at Portia here today. We are going to have some fun with it. Make sure we've got everything set up before we start. Here we go. Right, name our character Dakoba, and then let's go ahead and customize that hair. Order darker highlight of a brighter color to give it a really nice good highlight there. Down here, this looks okay. Let's look at our eyes. Our eyes to be nice and vibrant. Blue and some green. And then a little bit of decoration. Nice big beard. Go. And we can put a tattoo on there as well. I like that. So that's what we'll stick with for now. Thanks for joining, folks. How's everybody doing today? And we'll do the birthday of the 25th of spring. Now we're doing this on the PC version of my time at Portia. We did just get the Switch version, but the Switch is currently being hogged by someone else playing my time at Portia, so it's not available for me to stream with. But that's okay. We'll have a good time. The PC version is a few patches ahead, so there's some extra features and things available in it.
Looks beautiful.
Among other things, there's voice acting.
Something like that.
We get someone like you once in a while. Always seeking that adventure. Good to be young. Well, good luck to you.
Thanks.
Just beautiful. Just beautiful. I love this game. I love the music. I love the aesthetics. Like, the graphics aren't super high quality, but they do a really good job of fitting it all together. So it's got a really good aesthetic to it.
Good to see you again. Hope you had a pleasant journey from Barnarock, right? That's quite far.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm here to show you to your workshop, so if you would please follow me, it's pretty close.
I wonder what it's like. I didn't get to know my pa too well.
No one's been working there since your pa left Portia so many years ago. He was a good friend.
Yeah.
Alright. So here we go. So one of my tips is to kick this tree until we run out of stamina. We can actually kick a second tree and get a little bit more rubber fruit. But rubber fruit's not actually that valuable, so we don't need to do that. And there will be plenty of opportunities to get it later. But by kicking this tree until we run out of stamina, we'll level up. And we do get a few items. One thing it's worth noting, we keep getting experience. If you look over to the left, you'll see that as long as we are still spending stamina, we're getting experience, even if we're not getting any items for it. So we can take advantage of that. And there's the level up. Now this playthrough is going to be done in 1 hour segments, approximately, and we may occasionally do a longer one. But we'll see how long the game lasts for us. Most people I've seen get through the main story in about 40 hours. I tend to power game a little bit and get through a little quicker, but we'll see what happens.
And here we are, your workshop. This place sure has seen some wear and tear. What do you think?
Looks homey.
Now then, here's a letter from your father. He asked me to present it to you when you've seen this house.
When you read this letter, I'll already be on the other side of the world. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry I'm not the father you wanted me to be. This was also sudden, so I didn't have much time to tell you or figure out how to take care of you. Then I thought about this workshop. It might not look like much now, but it will brace you from the wind and cover you from the rain. I've left my workshop handbook that details how I created things in my workshop. The rest is up to you. Do your best and live a wonderful life. You will always be my pride and joy. Ah.
Here's the workshop handbook of your paws. Take your time. Come to the Portia Commerce Guild tomorrow. It's located around Peach Plaza. Can't miss it. As much as I'd like to give you a builder license right away, you'll need to prove your worth through a couple of tests.
Got it. Tomorrow.
Anyway, I'll leave you be. Get some rest.
Bye, Presley. Thanks for your help.
And that's the end of the first day.
Oh, my head hurts. I didn't sleep well at all from the breeze coming through the cracks last night.
Right. So one of our first priorities on this first day is going to be to fix our house. We're also going to get some basic tools set up that will let us be a little bit more efficient as we work. Gonna go ahead and gather some rocks here. Now the basic tools we need are made from stone and wood, and we gather the stone just by picking it up at this very early stage. So we'll pick up about 10 stone, that should be enough. And then we'll pick up some twigs. We'll also need about 10 wood. Some up here. Now the quest is to go to the Commerce Guild and meet Presley. I happen to know that if we actually complete the objectives for that quest before we go to the Commerce Guild, that we'll be able to sort of skip picking up the next quest, which will be nice. Over here, and we'll craft simple axe. And for our pickaxe, we need a little bit more stone and a little bit more wood, but we have a simple axe now, so we can chop down a tree for the wood. That's easy enough. And we do need to find one more stone pile. I think there's one right there. And I happen to know we'll need just a little bit more wood after this as well. So we'll go ahead and chop down another tree. So we'll go ahead and craft our pickaxe. We've gathered the materials, we click craft, and it appears in our inventory. Our next task, once we talk to Presley, is going to be to craft a furnace. So we'll go ahead and do that as well, just so we can skip along through that step. Over here. Now it's been a little while since I've played Portia in earnest. The last time I played was actually before the game came out, so some of the rules have changed somewhat. We'll see what happens. Alright, so we're up to level 3. That reminds me, we've got some character points we want to spend. So we'll go ahead and put those into Mastery of Axe and Mastery of Pickaxe. And that will make us a little bit more efficient with our crafting. Now here we want to build a stone furnace. So we'll set that up. And that'll require some wood and a stone stool, which we craft at our workbench. So we've got a stone stool. We'll have to move that to our quick bar so we can use it. So we place that there, and we take our furnace. Now eventually we'll use this furnace, but for now we're going to go show it to Presley and proceed with our quests. We go to the Portia Commerce Guild right off the Peach Plaza.
Nice to see you. How are you settling in? Great! Let me introduce you to the Commerce Guild. We're the organization that orchestrates trade across the entire Free Cities region. This is the Portia branch. We're pretty busy throughout the year. Now then, let me give you your builder test. This is pretty easy. Make an axe and pickaxe and bring them to me. You need to have wood and stones to make these. You can gather them on your own or buy them from the Total Tools in Central Square. After you have the raw materials, you need to craft the items on a work table. I saw your pa's on one in your yard, so check and see if that still works.
Now I tend to play through these games
Nicely done.
fairly quickly.
You can keep them. I just wanted to see what you can do. Now for the second test. You are to build a stone furnace. This one's a bit tougher. You need to use the assembly station in your yard to complete this task. If I remember correctly, your pa kept a very detailed account of the things he made. You might want to flip through his workshop handbook and see if you can find a diagram for the stone furnace. Once you have a diagram, just use it on the assembly station in your yard to start construction.
Okay. We have the furnace as well, so we talk to Presley again.
Great job! You pass. This is your builder license. Congratulations! Now you just need to take this license over to the mayor's office and get your workshop registered, after which you can start taking regular commissions. Come back and talk with me after you register.
Alright, and let's go check out the mayor's office. Register our workshop. Have a good time. No, I play these games at a pretty quick clip. Usually I'm a bit of a min-maxer, so I try and squeeze out as much productivity as I can each day. And so some things like waiting out the dialogue is a challenge for me at times. At some point we may skip through some of that.
I'm here to register my workshop.
Very well. What is the name of your
I'll name my workshop Sakura. Sakura means cherry. It's the Japanese word for cherry.
Nice name. There, your registration is complete.
Thank you.
Also, we're going to have a fireside.
Alright, so let's get this going. We'll head on back over to the Commerce Guild and present our new registered workshop to Presley and see what he gives us.
You're now a bona fide workshop. Let me explain some of the processes for our trade. Here at the Portia office, we post workshop based on the speed and quality of the...
There are other workshops?
Now,
Yes, adding yours. Once you're done with your orders, you can pick up the commission fee from Antoine if it's from the guild or the respective person who commissioned you. Builders make most of their money from doing commissions through the Commerce Guild, but some just build items. Anyway, since this is your first commission, I've kept one just for you.
a little bit of lag there.
Playing favorites, are we?
Higgins, you already took one today.
There are never too many commissions. Good day.
That's Runt. He's the owner of the current #1 workshop. Brilliant businessman, but I don't like the way he does things. Well, I'm sorry. That was our last one today.
Hey, Prez, I got a job for you.
Or not. What is it, Arlo?
We're looking to build a bridge to Amber Island.
So the mayor finally put up the money? Well, young builder here is...
Yeah, he figured that place could be a real tourist attraction. What with the haunted cave and all.
Check your pa's workshop handbook to see if he has a bridge diagram in there. I remember he built a bunch. If it's there, use it at your assembly station.
Also, and this is important, for a project as big as a bridge, you'll probably need to dive into the abandoned ruins to gather materials.
Alright. So one thing we're going to do is we're going to check out the workshop board, see if there are any good commissions for us. So there's one for 5 rope. I don't actually know what rope requires, so we're going to hold off on that one. 3 stone tables. That's something that's a little bit more reasonable for us to come up with. So we'll go ahead and take that commission. Now, our first task is going to be to sort of maximize our efficiency as we go through the rest of the game. And to that end, we are going to go and try and upgrade our tools as quickly as possible. Now, in order to upgrade the tools quickly, we will need to go into the abandoned ruins in town and mine some metal.
Yep.
Alrighty, let me explain then. All the ruins, when you enter,
Right.
I'll give you this one beside me is okay. I'm done.
Alright, so we'll head into the ruins. We want to pay 80 gold for a weekly pass into the ruins, and the answer is yes. Right, here we go. So we're looking for some copper. Looks like there's a nice little copper area here. Now there are a few things we're going to want to try and pick up here. The first thing, though, on the first day is just as much copper ore as we can reasonably mine, as well as a little bit of tin. And the reason for that is that we need to make bronze in order to craft our tools. Now some of our first commissions will also make use of copper, so we're going to mine a little bit extra, just to make sure we get enough. So let's check our inventory. And we also got our first data disk. So we have 32 copper and 7 in there. Now we did find a data disk, so we'll be able to take that to the research center to start a quest line, although I think we'll need more data disks before we can do very much with it. We're going to go ahead and pick up a couple of things here, just to get a little bit extra money. And then we're going to head back and start our forges going on some bronze bars, which will be used to craft, bronze tools first thing in the morning. Let's go ahead and pick up some gloves. Let's check our mail. So the Portia Times, they're a monthly publication and they have a office on the town square. That's the important thing there. Just down our furnace and let's craft. So let's add some fuel. And we want to craft 5 bronze bars. Alright, the next thing we need to do is make sure we can craft 3 stone tables for our commission. So the marble's going to be the hard part of that. 60 stone is also going to be a little tricky just because we're already running a little low on stamina today. We need to manage our stamina carefully if we want to be successful. Over here, it looks like Lee has a quest for it. But he found the data disk. So the church wants us to use the data disks to prevent a second apocalypse, which I think is a good goal for them. I think they will give us farm equipment and seeds. Now we're going to say no to that because I think that starts the quest for us to learn how to farm from Emily, which will give us some early crafting schematics that are useful. Over here, and I think the trick is to spend about 40 gold on food. I think that's the magic number that is efficient in terms of how much stamina you get back for how much money you spend. So let's head on down the hill now and see if we can't do some other things. Now the first day in Portia, one of the things I like to do is spend some time exploring the town. There are several chests hidden throughout the town that you can loot for extra items or money. So there's one that has 50 gold in it. They're called goals in some places and gold in others. So I'm not really sure what it's meant to be, but I'll go with gold. I think they're goals in writing most places, but whenever the voice actors say them, they say gold. So let's see. Did Higgins loot his furnaces today? Oh, looks like he just did. Alright, that's okay. There's another chest we can loot over here. And in particular, there's one chest we want to get that is in the school. The chest in the school is valuable because it contains a leather satchel that's worth quite a lot of money and is not a unique item. There's a valuable painting behind the mayor's office as well. But, I guess we don't want to go there. We just need to go back outside. But the painting behind the mayor's office, as far as I know, is unique. And I would rather not give up anything unique. So we're going to go ahead and sell that. And we'll want to sell some other things. So we'll sell, can we sell our rubber fruit? So what we're trying to do here is get a couple of these upgrade kits in order to upgrade our tools quickly. Now, some of the things we can sell, for example, marble, but we need that for our commission. And some of the things we have a harder time selling. So we bought one. Let's see if we can't sell anything over here to Polly.
See you.
There we go. So he's also not going to buy any of the food items we have. Let's see if Martha does. So Martha will buy our apricot juice, although that is 10 stamina. Yeah, we'll sell our apricot juice. 20. And sell our medical potion, which restores some health, but we aren't likely to be doing combat anytime soon. And let's see if we can't pick up a few more items real quick to get just a little bit more money. I happen to know there is a set of items up here that are several items all one tier down from each other. And the trick is just remembering where in the maze of structures you go to start it. Here's one. Let's see what this one is. So we got some copper wire there. That's pretty valuable. Here's what we were doing. So we have that one, an aroma apple, and some salad sauce. And I think that should give us what we need on a bloodstone. Now, all of those are items we'll be able to get again in the future fairly easily, so we can try selling them off and see how we do. So we can sell the aroma apple, and the bloodstone should be almost enough, not quite. So we'll sell one copper wire as well. We'll keep the second copper wire, but we will buy now our second upgrade kit. And with that, we'll be able to upgrade our pickaxe and axe to bronze first thing in the morning, which will do a lot to help improve our efficiency in the coming days. Now, there are things hidden all throughout town, so there's one up on that ledge. Most of them are a little harder to get to, so we don't necessarily need to head on over there straight away. We'll spend the rest of our stamina today chopping some wood, or at least enough wood to fix the holes in our house. When we woke up this morning, we were hurting on stamina because of the cracks in our floor. And so that requires some wood to fix, and so we'll go ahead and chop that wood now and take care of that. And then hopefully that, along with what we're able to gather. Let's see, so we'll upgrade our character. We're almost done chopping wood, so we're actually going to put the next point into pickaxe, which will let us mine some stone, which notably is important because we are going to be doing the commission we picked up to build the stone tables. So we'll be trying to work through that this evening a little bit, and we want to have a nice, good pickaxe efficiency in order to make use of the little stamina we have left. Get as much as we can out of that. Unfortunately, the tables do require a fair bit of marble, and that marble is going to be a little harder to come by. We're actually getting really lucky here. So maybe I should just say that we won't be able to do something, and then of course the game will give me all the resources we need straight away. But, see, there we go. Managed to break a few more without finding any of the marble. And we need a total of 6 marble for the commission. And it is just not forthcoming right now. There's one more piece. Maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe we'll be able to manage it. And we are also gathering a fair bit of stone for this, which will be a big help in completing not only the stone tables that we're crafting, but anything extra that we get we can use later. Alright, so we did get our 6 marble as well as enough stone to complete that. So let's actually go ahead and mine a little bit more stone, as well as some more wood, and try and get a second furnace set up. That's our next step on the path to a high-functioning workshop, is to have increase the number of crafting stations we have going, especially things like the furnace or the grinders that will be running in the background as we're working, and as we're doing other things throughout the game. So we'll need a lot of wood in order to make all of those machines work. I think we only have one more action left in us for the day. And so we're actually going to do something a little different and come on over here and kick a tree and hope we get lucky. There are some items you can only get through kicking trees. Doesn't look like we got one that time. But one of those is some silk that will be used to craft a fishing rod. So it looks like our bronze bars will be done in 9 hours. And for now, we can craft our 3 tables. Craft all 3 of those. And then we'll also craft a storage box. This will let us unload some of the items we've picked up over time. We'll go ahead, take that storage box, and just set that up right here next to our furnace. Now the storage boxes are cool because they can actually be used from anywhere. So if we have more storage boxes, they've also set it up so, at least in the PC version of the game, items in your storage box can be used to craft. You don't need to pull them out. So any crafting items we have, like the sand or the plant fibers that we don't necessarily need to be carrying with us, we'll be able to unload. I'm also going to clean up my inventory just a little bit here, my quick bars, and set out wood and stone, because we'll use those for a lot of crafts soon. But I like to have the weapon, the pickaxe, and the axe in slots 1, 2, and 3. I find that that is the sort of best way for me to always know what tool I'm using. So the first thing is to fix these gaps in the floor. And then we're actually going to do a little trick here. And this is a little clever thing. We crafted these 3 stone tables for a commission, but we won't be able to complete that commission until tomorrow. So tonight we can use these 3 stone tables. So what we're going to do is we are going to set them in our house, and that will start us off with some extra stamina for tomorrow. So we'll craft these stone tables, and each one of these increases our maximum stamina by 7. Now we'll pick these up and sacrifice the stamina in the morning, but it'll cause us to start the day out with 21 extra stamina. It looks like the stream is struggling a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and check my settings, just make sure I'm broadcasting enough. Let me see if I can't turn up my video quality a little bit. It looks like it should be okay, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Hopefully it's not too bad for you guys. Alright, so here we go. So we did start with that 21 extra stamina, and we'll pick up those tables in order to clear that up, but we want to use up that stamina before we remove those tables. So we'll go ahead and gather up a little bit of wood. You can never have enough wood in this game. That's something that I've learned, is that at some point you'll get a quest that lets you have extra wood delivered to your workshop. But we're not there yet. So we've got our 5 bars. We'll go ahead and craft our bronze tools as well. So we can craft our bronze axe. That takes a simple axe, 3 bronze bars, and an upgrade kit. And the pickaxe requires the regular pickaxe, 2 bronze bars, and an upgrade kit. So we got the 2 upgrade kits. We crafted the 5 bronze bars, and so we're now sitting pretty with those tools. And now that we've used up some of that stamina, we'll go ahead and pick up these very tables. Go. And let's head. All right, so what do we want to work on today? I think one thing we want to get going is that we want to, let's refuel this and get some copper bars going. I think our next thing is going to be to actually craft a second furnace. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. So stone tool, we need a little bit more stone. So you can see some of the stones respawn each day. We'll be able to gather that, and that'll give us the stone we need for our table, or for our stool rather. Take the stone stool. Come over here, and we build another furnace. Now, multiple furnaces will let us essentially craft twice as many items made from metal. I try and get 3 furnaces up and running within the first few days, so we may end up crafting another one today as well. So we'll set that down, and then we'll go ahead and get started on just a little bit of charcoal. So we'll refuel some of this, go to 10, and then craft some charcoal. Just because we don't have a ton of wood just yet. Alright, so we have from Polly, so he needs 3 copper blades. We'll need a grinder to make the blades. So we'll accept that. That's in a second commission we can do. Civil Corps can take commissions to gather materials from the hazardous ruins. So if we ever need monster parts, we can do that at the Civil Corps. There are no new commissions on the weekend. And we have the abandoned ruins and the hazardous ruins in the Collapsed Wasteland. So the Collapsed Wasteland is actually off limits right now. That'll open up, I believe, in the second week. But for now, let's check out our missions and take our commerce commission to... Okay, so these are for Django at the restaurant. So we'll head over to the restaurant and turn in our commerce commission there. Alright, Django. There we go. We have a commerce commission for you. Put it to good use. So that increased our friendship with him. Let's chat with him as well.
Nothing like a good spring day to get up on your feet.
Here you go. I'm a little stunned. I'd not heard his voice actor before, and I quite like it, but it's not what I expected, I'll be honest. And so caught me off guard just a little bit, but we're having a good time with it. Django is a good guy. One of the things I think they changed a lot of the relationship stuff since we last played the game. So we're going to be taking a look at how some of those relationships work and what some of the advantages of having a relationship with different people are. So now that we have our copper pickaxe, we're going to be gathering these items at a much higher rate. We're also going to be getting a lot more experience from mining, which means we'll level up faster. So we can go ahead and properly stock up on copper as well as stone now. There's level 5. So we're just going to mine out about 100 copper ore real quick here. And 100 copper ore will last us a couple of days, but with 2 or 3 furnaces going, we'll get through that pretty quick as well. But we do want to spend some time today doing some other stuff as well. We don't want to just spend all day in the mines. Not that there's anything wrong with spending all day in the mines. It's actually almost cathartic. You know, when you've had a really stressful day at work or dealing with family or whatever, you know, there's something to be said for just coming in here and digging. But, so we got 100 copper ore there. Oh, we wanted to gather some stone. To gather some stone, we're also going to start looking for some relics. So just to make this a little bit more efficient, we'll mine our way down to this relic. We may end up mining through some copper in order to get there. It's okay. Just trying to gather some stone. Now, these relics are often crafting materials that are valuable or parts of a artifact that we can take to the research center. So this one I think is part of an artifact. It's the weird glass jar, piece 1. Let's mine our way over to another one. So this one is going to take us through some copper. And by mining, we're going to be gathering some data disks. One of the things we want to get going in the next few days is some of those data disk research points. So you often get those when you mine up these relics, or when you mine, when you're just mining, you'll find them as well. But they're always in the abandoned ruins, or what I call the mines, because that's what they are. Let's be honest. There's a glass lens there. Let's see if we can't get one more. There's a couple of them that are just really close here, so I'm keen to try and get those as quick as we can. Hey there, Mercuwave. Oh, hey, Tiny. How are you doing, man? Thanks for stopping in. We are doing a Let's Play of my time at Portia. Right now, we are mining out some rare items. Alright, there we got a few more power stones and old parts. Let's see. How are we doing on old parts? So we have one old part. We are going to need a second old part pretty soon. I think I'm actually going to stick in the mines until we find a second old part. The reason for that is the grinder, which is one of the next crafting stations we're going to make, requires old parts. So there we have a second old part there. Alright. Now, while you're in the abandoned ruins, you can actually use your map to leave, which is nice. Saves some time. Well, hey, I appreciate you stopping in, my friend. Feel free to hang out and relax. This game is meant to be a relaxing time, and that's what we're doing here, is having a good time and relaxing. Just living the dream, as it were. That's what we do here. Alright, so let's head on back to our furnaces. Our charcoal's done. Let's go ahead and fuel, and let's craft some more. Let's craft some more bronze bars. We're gonna need plenty of those, so we'll get some of those going. We're out of wood at this point, so we'll need to get some of that going. And we're gonna need to craft, I believe, 2 grinding stones. So we're gonna build a grinder. Let's get started building the grinder, and that requires 2 grinding stones we just made, 3 copper bars, and 2 old parts. So we have 2 copper bars cooking. And then we have the old parts in our inventory from the mines. So let's drop those in, set those up. Let's see, it's 2 in the afternoon. Let's head up to the restaurant and get some lunch, and let's see if we can't pick up another commerce commission today. The commerce commissions are a good way to sort of pace yourself. You want to make sure if you pick one up that you can complete it. So we only want to pick up commissions that we know we're able to finish, but they'll keep us productive. So I'm not sure what the shell necklaces require. We'll pass on that. Fiber cloth is going to require another crafting station we don't quite have yet. 2 copper blades, that's something we can do. It'll be a little bit of a push to try and get it today, and I like to do 1 commission a day, but I think we can do it. The copper blades are made at the grinding station, which we're just in the middle of crafting. Looks like Gale also has a quest for us. It is meet and greet. You should get to know the people in town. Made a list of store owners within the walls. Alright, so let's go meet some store owners. Django's one of those. We'd already met him. But...
Oh, a new builder. Always nice to see young folks moving in. If you need refreshments, I'm your man. Try this. It's on me this time.
Alright, give us some juice. Let's go ahead and dine again. We want to get up to about 40. Just maximize the stamina we get back. As you spend more money at the restaurant, in earlier versions of the game, you were able to get more and more stamina. So I think in the console version right now, at the time of this recording, you want to spend as much stamina as you, or as much money as you can, because that's how you'll get the most stamina back. But in this version of the game, that is not the case. And there's actually it's a bell curve, so you want to spend enough that you get a lot of stamina back, but not too much. Alright, so we have the old talker piece, looks like part of a phone. Weird jar piece. So we could sell those if we wanted. Someone gave us a waste pack. I'm not sure where the waste pack came from. I didn't see where that came from, but you know what the waste pack does is it gives us extra stamina. So we'll go ahead and put that on. Doesn't look like that's one of the ones that appears. We did level up a couple of times, so we'll go ahead and take another point in our mastery of pickaxe and our mastery of axe, and then let's check on our quest. So we need 3 copper blades for Polly. We need to take a piece of something to Petra. And then meet and greet, we need to meet Polly, Mars, Sophie, Albert, and Dr. Zhu. Alright, well there's Polly. It's easy enough.
Builder. I sell furniture here in my store. So if you have any needs, and since I'm so manly, I'm going to give you this to get you started.
Polly is giving us hardwood. We just received Polly's hardwood.
Nice to have you. If you need tools or what now, you look like a nice kid.
Looks like Mars owns Total Tools, which makes tools and weapons, so that's good. And let's head on over to the research center and talk to Petra. And we can meet some of these other folks, Dolly and Molly. Nice of them to introduce themselves. One of the things that that happens is as you build relationships with different townspeople, you unlock different sort of perks from being their friends.
You want to know? This is actually related to
So Petra can use data discs to
so don't expect us anyway.
come up with new recipes for us.
This must be a piece of a relic.
And then a piece of a relic. So we have only 3 data discs left. I believe we need 5 in order to get the first bit of research going with Petra there at the research center. Alright, let's head on out. I think at this point we can get back to work with our workshop. Now, there are a couple of things we may want to do today. One of the things is that we did spend all of our money trying to get our tools upgraded. So we might try and earn just a little bit more money, but we need to get that grinder up and running on those copper blades so that that's underway to complete those commissions. In order to do that, we're going to need to actually create copper, so I'm mining a little bit more wood in order to keep our furnaces going, or chopping a little more wood, rather. But then once that's done, we will maybe keep an eye on how we can make a little bit more money. So let's see, we've got furnaces going. So we'll refuel that. It does look like we're out of room in our inventory, so let's go ahead and drop off some of these items we aren't going to need right now. Before too long, we'll come in here and we'll clean up some of our inventory, our storage space, but right now we're just trying to keep moving at a pretty quick clip. And so we're dropping off things that we don't really need. What's that do? So that's a defense buff there. So we wanted to refuel that, make sure that's going. Alright. And it did give us enough to complete the grinder. So we'll grab the grinder. Get that one set up. The grinder uses a power stone for fuel, which we managed to get. And then copper bars, which are still cooking. So we'll get those in a little bit. And you're starting to see, just from us trying to complete the grinder and complete one commission, why it's important to have multiple furnaces running just to make sure that we always have the resources we need. I'm going to stop by Sophie's ranch. Now we're going to be making a little bit of money here today, and the absolute best way to make money in the early game is to go fishing. Go fishing, you need bait, so we'll buy some bait. We'll buy 40 bait. 40 bait should be good. Oh, and we need to introduce ourselves to Sophie as well. I think Dr. Zhu is the only one left for that quest. Maybe we'll get lucky and meet him. I think he comes to our farm at some point in the morning. Maybe tomorrow. And will help us out. Let's do this. Head back to our farm. Now, in order to go fishing, I think Chiwa actually wants us to make a fishing rod for him.
Hey,
Yes.
you're the new builder, right?
Can I make you a new one? Yes, we can make you a new fishing rod, Chiwa, but it'll have to wait a little bit because we are going to make ourselves a fishing rod first, and we're going to use it to go fishing. Now, we do need to get a little bit of silk to go fishing. So we'll go ahead and kick this tree. There's one wild cocoon. I believe we need 2 of those. 2 wild cocoons. And I think I saw the second one just drop right there. So we can head back to our farm and... or to our workshop, rather. Come to our crafting station and make a beginner's fishing rod. 15 wood, 2 wild cocoons, and 1 copper bar. What we do here is we unload just a little... we'll actually keep the milk. That's good for stamina regeneration. But we'll drop off some of these other items that we don't necessarily need to be holding on to as we go fishing. And I think we did want to go ahead and refuel this furnace as well before we go. Now we do have the option of completing the fishing rod quest, but unfortunately we don't have the capacity to make a second fishing rod just yet. So we're going to be spending our time making use of our fishing rod rather than turning it in as a quest. We have 104 stamina, as well as a couple stamina regeneration items, and 40 bait. It is about 9 o'clock in the evening. Now, there are several places to fish. You can only fish from certain preset points in the game. There are several of those, but the most profitable one to fish from, the one where you'll make the most money, is this one here near the waterfall. And the trick to fishing is simply to walk as close to the edge of the shore as possible. You just sneak on up there. Eventually it resets you 1 step back, and then you cast the fish, or cast your line out. And what we need to do is simply hold the mouse button down while we have the bubble over top of the fish, and that draws it in a little closer. Now this Goliath here, this is the big fish. This is the one we're here to catch, and they're quite difficult to catch as well. I remember my first time trying to catch them. It took me many tries before I caught my first one. I eventually learned that you only ever do one like quick clicks at a time. You never let the bubble get too big, because the Goliath will sometimes jump out of range very quickly, and that makes it much more difficult to catch, because it'll pop the bubble if you're just holding the mouse button down or reeling it in very quickly. I find that it's a little bit easier to do on console, just because the controls, I think they've made it a little bit easier, and the controls are well suited to it. But on PC, it's quite tough. I've also had, the experience going into the console version, so I have that advantage. But it fundamentally works the same. The fishes just seem to move a little more slowly. Oh, we got an Emperor Goliath. The Emperor fish are worth twice as much as regular fish. So that's a good chunk of gold we just earned there. This is a different fish. I have not seen this one before. This is new. Ooh. That was... Okay, this is a tough fish to catch. That was a close one. So we want to be very careful with this guy. Only reel in very small amounts at a time. Always let the thing fully reset before we try reeling in, just in case he does one of those big jumps halfway across the area. Ooh, like that. Golden King Salmon. Or Golden Salmon King. 5,000 gold. What? What? 5,000? That's unbelievable. That's insane. 5,000? Holy cow. On the like the second day. Can you guys believe this? This is nuts. I wonder if they have that for the Goliath fish. Oh my gosh. They have changed how fishing works. If that's a common fish to catch, even if it's very difficult to catch, that changes the whole balance. Because if you can bring in 10, 15, 20,000 gold worth of fish in a day, then, you know, it's not even worth it to go to the mines anymore. You just fish and then buy the metal you need. You know, let Paulie do the mining. He's got big muscles. And I'll just fish. I hope that's not the case, and that's not really how I want to play the game, but that's nuts. That's insane. 5,000 gold. You know, there's only one shop in town that even has 5,000 gold that I can sell it to. It's the restaurant. So, you know, if we catch like a king Goliath or whatever, we may not even be able to sell it. It would be so expensive. This Goliath is being tricky. Can't underestimate him, or underestimate him. Right when you think you got him, they pull one of these things where they do a quick switchback and ruin your whole day. The regular Goliath there. Now, we aren't strictly here to make as much money as possible. I mean, we are at this particular moment. We're not really trying to like maximize on this playthrough how much gold we make. What we are trying to do though is make sure that we have enough money to sort of keep ourselves stocked up on whatever we need to buy. You know, if we want to go fishing, we want to be able to buy bait. If we want to sort of expand our clothing, we want to be able to afford that. And so we're just doing a little bit of fishing in order to sort of bolster our coffers and keep us set up to go forward. Golden salmon here's being a little tricky getting away. Alright, we are completely out of stamina. Oh, and it is quite late. You know what? We can't make it back to our house in time. But what we can do is we can drink some milk, get a little bit of stamina left, or a little bit of stamina back, and chop down a few trees to gather up some wood, because I believe our furnaces are just about out of juice. Oh, and we leveled up as well. So, go us. We'll go ahead and put another point in our experience gain one. We're looking to reach a high level pretty quickly, so we're going to try and max our experience gain early on. Alright, 3 o'clock, we pass out. Used to be you could pass out and there was no negative consequences. I'm not sure if they fixed that or not. It doesn't look like it, so we can still just pass out whenever we feel like it. We can stay out till 3 a.m. every night. God, 5,000 gold for that fish. That is insane. You gotta wonder how rare that is, and do I want to sell it at all? Is it so rare that I should hold on to it and covet it? Alright, let's make some more copper bars here. That one's gone. We ran out of fuel for the bronze, but that's alright. We can refuel that now that we got some more wood going. Alright, and we can get these copper blades going, so we can get at least one of those going. They only take an hour to make, so as soon as we get 2 more copper bars, we should be okay. So, with that, let's see. We've got our commission going. We got our furnaces going. Let's make another furnace. That should be our next goal, I think. So let's go chop down some more trees. Now that we have the bronze axe, we can actually go for these larger trees to gather wood much more quickly. I think this will be the last day for this episode. And we can mine these stumps to get a little bit of hardwood and ironwood, which will be used later on to upgrade our workbench and assembly station. So we'll gather up some more wood. And to make another furnace, we'll need stone. Now that we have the bronze pickaxe, we can mine these larger stones over here. The rare kingfish. That is something else, I tell you what. So we didn't get hardly any stone from that one at all. It does look like our inventory... How much? It's 400 gold. Let's go sell some stuff. Now that the restaurant's open, we should be able to... is there not a path through here? There we go. We should be able to unload some of these items. That kingfish, even if I end up selling it, I'm going to wait until it's a good day to sell with a high market value. You know, each day the market value resets. It seems to move around a bit randomly. And so today it's only at 91, which isn't a very good day. If we were to sell it, we'd only get 4,500. I've seen it go as high as 125%. And so we're going to go ahead and save that. We'll sell a couple of these fish. Just so that we have enough to go into our inventory and expand our inventory. I've seen it get as high as 125%. If we were able to sell it there, we could get, you know, over 6,000 gold for it. And so that's what we're going to do, because I can hold on to that if I decide to sell it at all. That's still a little up in the air. Alright. Alright, can't mine the real big rocks just yet. Okay, so let's head back and set up our third furnace. Get that one going with some copper. My goal is to get the bridge to Amber Island done in the first week. That's, I found, a good metric for really pushing my own productivity, especially if I'm taking time to do things like relationships, or daily. What do I have here? Oh, that's hardwood. We need wood, and we need a stone stool. Stone stool, wood. If I'm trying to sort of diversify what I'm doing and really spend time engaging in the different parts of the game, then it takes a little bit more time and energy away from just really pushing those main quests. So if I can still keep up on those main quests, it's a good playthrough, a good metric for tracking progress there. Chopping just a little bit more wood. Make sure we have plenty to keep these furnaces going. Hopefully that second copper bar, we have one done. We'll be getting another one done very shortly, hopefully. So we can turn in that quest. The quest for the copper blades is one of the commissions, which you can only have one of at a time. And so we want to complete it as quickly as possible, so that we have time to start on our second one. So we're just sort of waiting out the furnace by chopping wood in between times. Once we get that done, we'll head in and see if we can't get a couple other things. I think our goals for today are going to be, obviously, finish this commission, get the next one going. See if we can't build a cutter, a saw. So there we go. Got that one. And we'll craft another copper blade. That's a 1-hour job. So let's see what the cutter will take. So we have a grinder. The cutter takes 2 copper blades, 5 stone bricks, Okay, so just 2 copper blades and 5 stone bricks. So the stone bricks, what we'll do is we'll actually interrupt our bronze bar crafting. We'll cancel that. And we'll craft 5 stone bricks. We already have 2, so we'll get 3 more. And that will let us start on some of the plates and boards that we need for the bridge. Oh shoot, I forgot my saw. My saw blade. And Chiwa, yeah, you can have the fishing rod there, Chiwa. So thank you for that, my friends. Blade done in 10 minutes. Well, 10 minutes is enough time to chop down this thing. Grab our copper blade. Let's head into town. Looks like there's a quest available for us at the restaurant, so we may stop by there momentarily. It's always helpful to talk to people as we go about our business. So we can talk to Presley, for example, and that'll give us relationship points. We're not specifically focusing on relationships just yet. We'll get there. So 8 charcoal, that should be an easy one to do if we need to do that. 10 wooden baskets, that might be a little tougher. A dark coffee table, I don't know if we can do that one. We'll do the 8 charcoal. Oh, but we have to actually finish this one first. So let's see, who had the Commerce Commission? That was over at the Research Center. Okay, so we can head over there. So we want to be working on relationships, and let's see, just real quick, if we can identify. So Presley, relationships have perks with them, so we get extra reputation for completing commissions if we are friends with Presley. Django lets us save money at the store or restaurant. Mars, save money at the store. So those are things there. Chiwa will give us some gifts sometimes. Carol, save money at the store. About Lee, just sends us some gifts. Petra, gifts. Cool. So it looks like most of the store owners just have the save money. What about Gale, the mayor? Mayor has discount when purchasing land. Arlo increases our attack power. What about the kids? Don't have perks. Right. It increases our defense power for Remington. So we can look as we meet more people at some of those other items, find out who we really want to focus on relationships with. Maybe identify someone we eventually want to try and romance. But for now, we'll just keep to ourselves. I'm a bit of an introvert in real life, and so it's my nature to play a bit of an introvert in a game as well. Merlin. Alright, so we can talk to Merlin and turn in that Commerce Commission. Now we're also building up our workshop rep, and the workshop rep goes to towards at the end of each month we'll get a prize based on our ranking, so we really want to push that ranking as best we can. Isaac. It's cross 5. Cross 5. Oh. Okay. So we're black. We want to do 5. So we want to do there. There. Alright, so we need to trick him into letting us do this. I think we'll be able to do that with on here. Oh, I think he got us. Okay. So let's restart this. I think I know how to win this one now. So we're gonna play on the offensive here. We're going to try and do a grid that... Oh, he still beat us. Alright, one more try, one more try. So start at the middle, and we'll do there, there. Let's see, how do we want to do this? And we got him. Just like that. We need to keep him reacting to our moves. And that is... that lets us sort of always stay one step ahead, which is the goal. Looks like there's a quest. Now it's at A&G Construction. Let's see what that's about. That did take a fair bit of time. Okay, so Albert was one of the people we needed to meet. Easy enough. Now, some of the other things I wanted to do were pick up another commission. The Commerce Guild closes, I think, at 9, so let's go ahead and jump in there and grab that real quick. And we'll do charcoal. Many of these items may be doable. I just don't know for sure that they are, and I want to be pretty sure on some of these things. So it's very likely that the wooden basket is 10 wooden baskets is a very doable commission. But we'll just stick to 8 charcoal. It's quick, it's easy. Gets the job done. We'll head into the mines. We're going to try and get a few more data disks, and while we're at it, we'll just mine out hopefully enough copper to last us a while. Let's see, we've got lots of copper. We'll start up high so we can just mine our way down as we go. Another skill point. Go ahead and invest that so we get more experience. 5% experience isn't much, but it's essentially 1 level out of 20, so we're just buying ourselves free levels later, as long as we play enough to get there. Alright. It's gonna mine. We may just mine ourselves out of stamina. I think it might be a little late to get data discs over to Petra. Nor do I think we've actually seen any new ones pop in yet. Not sure where our data discs went, to be honest. I must have put them away. But regardless, we haven't gotten any new ones. Alright. There's one. Let's make sure we have plenty of metal for all of these early commissions. Down to about 30 stamina. We'll just go ahead and mine ourselves out of stamina here. And set up our workshop or our workstations, and that'll be it for the day. We got plenty of wood to last us through the night, I think. And so that's where we'll leave it off. Another data disk. So there's the 5 data disks. We'll be able to start that workshop research tomorrow. The research center will take 5 data disks at a time, or multiples of 5. So I think you can do 5, 10, or 25 in order to get you schematics for new furnaces or new cutters, things like that, new crafting stations. We want to start that as soon as we can because those are more efficient than the ones we have now. So we really want to be getting them as quick as possible. Did mine out a couple hundred copper there. That should get us a good start on our bridge. Let's see what we've got over here. So we've got our stone brick is done. We have enough copper now that we can make some more copper blades. Craft 2 of those. Yeah, we'll do 2 of those for now. We'll start this one back on bronze again, because I happen to know we're going to need some of that. And we will refuel these. Actually, one of these, this one we're actually going to cancel the copper, because we know we're going to need some wood, or some charcoal for the commission we picked up. So we'll take 8 charcoal. And we'll make that one overnight as well. And just to help us remember what we're working on, we'll go ahead and start building our civil cutter. And take our stone bricks. Go ahead and plug those in. That way when we come back to this game here in a couple days, we'll know exactly what we're trying to do next. And then I'll go ahead and also leave myself a little bit of a reminder with the data discs. We'll put those out on our bars. We'll put the fish out on the bars so we remember that. And then what else? So what else are we trying to work on right now? We've got the grinder, the bridge. We need to work on the bridge. And for the bridge, I think we'll remember that we're trying to do the bridge. So I think that'll do it. We're out of stamina. There's not really a whole lot else we can do. All of our crafting stations are going. They've all got plenty of fuel. So at this point, you know what? Let's spend just a little bit of time going around and introducing ourselves to anybody. Talk to Chiwa a little bit, and just work on those relationships. You know, if you finish your chores early enough, you can have some fun. Eventually, you get enough stamina, and the needs of your workshop are low enough that
the herbal mixture is a great thing.
That it doesn't take up much time. Herbal mixture is a great thing.
You're that new person.
I'm that new person. Right. We met Pinky. Sanwa.
I heard about you.
He's a barber.
I really want to travel to other
But he doesn't like traveling over water.
Did you just move here?
Toby. Phyllis.
Who might you be? Bacteria spreads fast in this season.
Gotta take care of your personal hygiene. Couldn't agree more, Phyllis. Looks like we have Gale, or Gust rather, and Ginger.
You must be the new builder. It's so nice to meet you.
Meet Gust as well. So those are Mayor Gale's kids. I think over here we have a bear in a bathrobe. Papa Bear. He's a gentle bear, and he's Oak's dad, apparently. Adopted dad. Alright, I think that'll do. So that's the first few days. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed our first episode of Living the Dream in Portia, as we're calling it. I appreciate you guys stopping by. And hopefully we'll see you guys again soon. I think we're looking to do the next stream for this one on Monday night. So we'll be back on Monday night with our next episode. And we'll keep these all posted on the YouTube channel if anybody wants to hang out. I'll try and, if you can't catch an episode live, I'll try and fill them all with useful tips. Oh, looks like our copper blades are done. We spent enough time doing that we can actually get our saw going, our cutter. So we'll go ahead and do that. And that means that we can now start on our bridge parts. So or we could do our, I think it's pronounced Skyver. But let's work on the bridge parts. So we need to take hardwood and cut it into hardwood planks and bronze bars and turn them into bronze plates. So what do we have? We have some hardwood. We don't have enough bronze bars yet. We'll hopefully get some more of those. We can start on at least some of these hardwood planks. So we'll get all of those going. All right. And with that, I think we'll turn in and catch you guys in a little while. Thanks for hanging out, everybody, and y'all have a good night.